So let's look at the dashboards. So we have one dashboard for each of the themes. One is for pricing, one is for recommendations, one is for search, and one for promotions. So let's start from the pricing. So we have few metrics which are common to all the pages. So let's look at the metrics first. On the top, we have total revenue, total potential revenue, total products, and total categories. So on the left, we have donut charts for total sales by brand, sales versus potential, which includes the potential revenue which we can generate from cart as well as view event type. So somebody added a product to the cart but they didn't buy. So that is our potential revenue. Then we have a donut chart for sales by category as well. On the right, you can see we have hourly sales data during each hour of the day. So we can look at each hour and see how time affects sales and prices. So you can infer from this chart that the prices as well as the sales are at its peak during the morning hours. So 11 a.m., 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is the highest. So we can extract insights from this, to dynamically change prices for high demand products or offer discounts on products which are not doing that great. So if we click at 10 a.m. right now and see the user activity at this time. So let's drill down further to a category as well. So if we select, for example, the subcategory of notebook and we go to the chart of sales by brand, so we can see that how each brand is performing at this moment for this category. So the highest is Acer and the second highest is Lenovo. So if you want to infer the reason behind this, maybe based on pricing or how the pricing is affecting the sales, we can look at this graph. So which tells us the average price of brand across categories. So with this category, you can see the Acer and Lenovo offer some discounting at this moment, and they have the lowest prices at this time. So that in turn, makes up for sales. Okay, so depending upon your goal, whether it is to maximize your revenue, profit, or user traction, we can use dynamic pricing accordingly. So we'll also look at one more dashboard for pricing at the end. So let's move to recommendations. Let's refresh the dashboard and go to recommendations. So we have category wise activity here and brand wise activity here. And also we have users brand preferences in a heat map here. So for each brands, what user prefers and buys. So we can see, look at these charts and kind of recommend products based on these. So you can select a brand from here or you can select a category and vice versa from here. So if we select a category from here, say headphone, we can see which brand people prefer here. So people usually prefer, as expected, Apple. So, and vice versa, we can also look at some brand and see which categories people prefer in that brand, particular brand. So let's look at the heat map now. So based on the information from this heat map, so we can actually look at what products a user likes and can further, we can use techniques like collaborative filtering or association rules to recommend products based on that, based on what that user has purchased in the past or what other users of similar kind have purchased. So it's a big heat map and it's a sparse, obviously. Okay, let's move to search now. Let's refresh the dashboard and move to search. So when we go on a site and search with a brand, say for example Apple or some other brand, so it should give us the relevant categories that Apple offers, as suggestions, and vice versa also. Like if we search via a brand, say or if we search via a category, say smartphone, so it should give us some kind of suggestions of different brands, for example Apple, Samsung, or something else. So this is where search helps. So these are the graphs which can help see that what brands are uh, under some category or what category has different kind of brands. So you can look at category search by brand. So if you look at some brand here, so it has all the categories of that brand: smartphone, video, kitchen. And in this graph you have the opposite. So you can look at a category and see which brand offers that category, and you can select some of it, and you can also look at the data table to see which data corresponds to our search. So let's refresh the feed and let's move over to promotions quickly. Yeah, so here we have the state-wise brand activity. Then we have these graphs of days of week revenue as well as brand activity or sales on a day of a week. So we can use the state-wise brand activity to generate promotional campaigns based on states. So then we have revenue at each day of the week in this graph, as well as the brand activity here. So the sales are highest on Friday, Saturday, as well as Sunday. You can see from this graph, 11 million, 11 million, and 10 million. So for example, if we click on Sunday, let's drill down to a particular day. So now we can look at for Sunday, which brands are performing well from this graph, and state-wise sales of each of the brands for Sunday. So business can particularly use these dashboards, so they can target demography, they can target brands, or even they can drill down to user level to offer promotions based on whatever their goal is, whether they want to improve their user traction, they want to increase their revenue, or they want to increase their overall profit. So that all depends upon the goal you're targeting from a promotional or a marketing campaign. So let's quickly move over to the last dashboards now. Let me close this dashboard and open the other one. Okay, so if we offer like some promotion or discounts using a marketing campaign or use dynamic pricing to boost sales, so it is very important that we look at how they are performing, how well the campaign is performing. So if we look at this graph of pricing fluctuations here, so see, you can see a boost over here in the sales of this product ID 871. So this actually is an Apple product, Apple smartphone only. So if we want to look at the reason of this, we can look at the average price of this on each of the days. So this graphs tell you pricing fluctuations on each of the day of each of the products. So this is the product 871. So if you look at the pricing, so it changes from 944 to 929 and 924 and further down. So that might be a reason for the boost in sales for these 3 days. And again, when they increase the price to 958, and then again the sales were dropping down. So these kind of things we can actually look at. And this graph also you can look at based on different states. And for both of the months, we have the data for October as well as November 2019. Let me refresh the dashboard once. Yeah, so you can also look at sales by each hour. So how each hour is performing as well as sales by each date. So you can see like for these 2 months, so the sales were highest for 17th, 16th, and around 15, around the mid of the month, the sales were at its peak. So these are some of the insights we can infer from these dashboards, and there are many more insights which can actually sit down and drill down to further user and product level and infer from all of this information. Thank you.